welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to give you a quick update on how my racing has been going so far this season. So far this season I've done 9 races, 7 of those have been criteriums and the other 2 road races, which were actually the first ever road races I've ever done, but more about those in a minute. I think it's fair to say that racing this year has definitely stepped up a notch or 2, and yeah, I've found some of those races extremely difficult, especially that one where I had a normalised power of 400 watts and still managed to get dropped. Since that race, races have been going a little bit better with a few kind of top 20s, but yeah, nothing really to write home about. Despite not getting a result, I've been extremely pleased with my performances. There was one race that I did was actually a 3-4 rather than the 2 3-4s which I've mostly been doing this year, where yeah, I found myself kind of feeling really comfortable, managed to bridge over to the brake. However, my equipment let me down on that occasion. My rear tyre blew out when I was on the front of the bunch. That was my race over. So 2 weeks ago was my first ever road race, which I did over in Lancashire. So that was the Elite Cycle Racing Crown Cup road race. So the circuit is about 2.5 miles long around an industrial estate. Nice wide roads, and the corners aren't too difficult. So yeah, it was quite easy to kind of sit in the bunch and just roll round. I moved up to the front for each of the preems just to kind of see kind of how the bunch was reacting to kind of a sprint scenario. And then yeah, I was feeling really comfortable going into that last few laps. Managed to move up towards the front, and yeah, going into that last corner, tried to move around the outside of the bunch, and unfortunately the bunch moved to the right and I got shoulder barged into a nettle bush, and that was my race over. Unfortunately, that's kind of been the story of my season. So any races where I am up there in the mix, I seem to be kind of hampered or taken out in that last corner. Maybe it's something to do with my own positioning, something I need to kind of work on. But yeah, I just think it's kind of the luck of the draw a little bit, and unfortunately so far this season I've kind of been on the bad end of things. And then this weekend gone was the Seacroft Wheelers Summer Road Race. So the circuit itself is just over 5 miles long, but pretty much flat, with a couple of rollers over railway bridges, which yeah, you don't really notice when you're flying along at about 45-50k an hour. Managed to kind of roll around in the bunch quite easily for the first kind of hour and 15 minutes, just kind of focusing on my nutrition, making sure I was getting enough water and yeah, carbohydrates in. And then in the last kind of half an hour or so of the race, I moved up to the front and kind of worked with a couple of others to try and to bring the brake back. Unfortunately, by the time I had moved up to the front in that last kind of half an hour of the race, the brake already had over 2 minutes on the bunch, and yeah, there was not really any way that we were going to bring it back. However, I thought it was worth kind of seeing what kind of dent we could make into that advantage, and I think in the end we managed to kind of bring back around about 45 seconds or so. Coming out of the second to last corner, I saw that I had a bit of a gap to the bunch. Not really sure what happened, but yeah, tried to go full gas and see if I could stay away from them. However, yeah, the tank was empty and the bunch came barreling past me about 500 meters later. And yeah, again, despite not getting a result, I was really happy with my performance. I didn't think it would be the case, but I think I prefer these longer flat road races over to crits. I think I really like kind of more the sustained effort rather than the sprinting out of the corners every 15 to 20 seconds. And yeah, despite the races being over 2 hours or around 2 hours, yeah, I didn't find them too taxing, and yeah, kind of found my rhythm towards the end of them, and when others started to fade, I felt myself getting a little stronger. Unfortunately, around here there aren't many flat road races, so I think next year I'm going to have to try and travel a little bit further afield to see if I can find some more road races that suit me. So currently I haven't got any more races in the calendar. That's mainly due to the fact that there's not much up there on British cycling at the moment, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the rest of my season, but I'm sure I'll keep you updated on what I do decide to do. In fact, I've got a few things coming up in the near future which I'm pretty excited about. which are non-race related, and I can't wait to share those with you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.